Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Don, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
Hello and welcome to Geisman Gymnasium. Welcome back for Game 2 of the River Forest Tri here on Saturday, September 7th in River Forest, Illinois, with two visiting teams from Southern Illinois and St. Louis, Missouri, the Blackburn College Beavers and the Fontbonne University Griffins facing off here today in Game 2 of the Tri. Both these teams coming up from the St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, so it's a little bit of a conference matchup right here. I don't believe that this is going down in the books as a conference game, but these are two teams from the same conference going up against here in an early season matchup here today in River Forest. Fontbonne's going to be kicking it off with their first game of the day, but Blackburn's already been in action today, taking on the home Concordia University Chicago Cougars earlier here today in Geisman Gymnasium, and it was a game that could have gone better for them. Went down in a three-set sweep to the Cougars, put up their best fight in set number 3, forcing the Cougars to go to 26 points to win that one, but just unable to win a set against the Cougars and get anything across. They look to get back on their feet today, going up in this match, going up against the Fontbonne Griffins. Fontbonne, a team that's had a strong start to this season, 2-1 through their first 3 games of the year, coming out of a tournament over in Iowa at Central College, winning their last 2 matches there. Looking to continue that hot streak today here against the Blackburn College Beavers. Blackburn, on the other hand, still winless on the year, 0-2 coming into today, already dropped down to 0-3. They're going to look to avoid dropping down to 0-4, but going up against a school like Fontbonne, it's going to be a tough task for the Beavers. Fontbonne University coming off of a runner-up finish last year in the SLIAC, and this year projected to finish 4th in that conference, a conference with 10 teams in it. Blackburn, on the other hand, projected to finish 8th in the SLIAC. So Fontbonne, top half of the SLIAC, Beavers, bottom half, both projected to finish coming into this year. So Fontbonne, the favorite coming into this game, but Blackburn looking to pull off the upset. A couple players to watch for Blackburn coming into today, especially coming off of that first game against Concordia earlier today. Peyton Meglin had a really strong showing against the Cougars earlier, picking up 7 kills, just 3 errors, hitting at 200%. And Jessica Muckensturm had a solid match as well, 5 kills, 2 errors, hitting at 300%. So solid stats coming out of Blackburn, just not in nearly enough quantity in that morning matchup. And they've already played in some action. They're going to be a bit tired coming up against a fresh Fontbonne squad on the other side of the court. Fontbonne, on the other hand, small roster, but strong team headed into today. We'll see how these two teams face off. We'll take a short break here for the starting lineups and the national anthem. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Cougar Sports Network. And we are back after the starting lineups for both of these squads. Fontbonne University playing as the home team in this match against Blackburn, who will play in their visiting uniforms. It's Blackburn on the left side of your screen to start in the red uniforms. Fontbonne on the right side of your screen in the black uniforms. Your starting libero for Fontbonne is number 13, Emma Harrop. She's in the gradient purple to blue going top down uniform. Over on Fontbonne's side, your starting libero for the Beavers, number 11, Bailey Bennett, over in the light gray uniform on Blackburn's side. Both libero uniforms for both teams, different styles, larger numbers on Harrop's for Fontbonne, and then Bailey Bennett's circular framing with the team's name around the number, contrary to the standard uniforms. It's the Beavers serving first. It'll be Kennedy Fry to serve it across. Here's Bishop straight into Bennett, and Bennett can't handle it. That's going to be point one for Fontbonne as they come out strong. As they rotate, they'll sub in Jordan Harple, the sole middle blocker on their roster, and dropping back to serve is the libero, Emma Harrop. And Harrop's going to serve that straight into the net and send possession right back over to the Beavers. Both these teams trading points early on here. So now it's Cara Pence serving over for Blackburn. Awkward serve from Pence right there. But that's going to be a point for Fontbonne. Mora Oji, one of these leading attackers on the Griffins side, getting up there and getting her first kill of the day. And so with a 2-1 lead, dropping back to serve for the Griffins is Kristen Kempfee. That'll be received by Bennett. Meglin gets it across. There's Oji again, unable to do anything with it. From the near side is Jordan Watts. OG for the Griffins. Gets it across again. These two teams rallying right here. Neither really able to get a strong attack, but there's one from Cara Pence. The back line for the Griffins, Maddie Bach, unable to handle it, sending it into the bleachers. And the Griffins take possession back 1-1 early on here in this match. Serving now for the Beavers is Jessica Mergenstrom. And that's going to be a point Griffins. An attacking error right there for Jordan Harple. Sent it wide on the far side of the court. So dropping back to serve once again is Jessica Muckensturm. From a long range is Kristen Kempfee right there, but it's going to be tipped by the Beavers. That one likely would have gone out, but slight mistake from the Beavers sends a point to the Griffins right there, who draw back even 3-3 as dropping back to serve is Mora Oji. Oji sends it across, received by Pence. Meglin able to send it back. Oji's going to keep it alive. And that right there, awkward play for the Griffins, but a great defensive play from Emma Harrop. That ball bounced off the speaker up on the ceiling, but Harrop able to keep it alive, and the Griffins are going to end up with the point. Bailey Bennett unable to receive that effectively right there. It'll head out of bounds, and that's point Griffins. OG will drop back to serve once again. OG sends that one into the net, send a point to the Beavers. Neither team able to get a sustained run going on Hurley here through the first 8 points played. Blackburn College and Fontbonne University even at 4-4. Dropping back to serve for the Beavers is Naomi Lansaw. Lansaw sends it across. This will be set by Watson. Siebert unable to get it down. Meglin gets it across, set by Watson again. Siebert across again, staying alive here. There's Person, and Person's going to get it down to the ground. Point Beavers, hair up, unable to get there, just out of reach as she dives for it. That's going to send the point to the Beavers. They take that 1-point lead back here early. As the freshman Naomi Lansaw drops back to serve once again. She'll get it across, received by Siebert. Siebert's going to go for the kill herself. Picked up by Bennett. Nice little tap across right there from Zoe Mitchell. And Siebert's unable to keep it alive and playable for the Griffins. And that's going to be 2 in a row for the Beavers. 2 points is the largest lead of the day for either team so far, as the Beavers have a 6-4 lead. Lansaw sends it across. And Siebert's just going to have to push it across. That's going to be set by Lansaw herself. Pence trying to drop it in the back corner. Sends it out of bounds right there. So an attacking error for Pence right there will send possession over to the Griffins, who trail by 1. Dropping back to serve is Jordan Harple. Harple will serve it up, received by Bennett. Lansaw having to keep it alive. Mitchell's just going to tap it over. Now Watson will set for the Griffins. And Siebert right there, able to get across off the net, and an errant reception for Peyton Meglin. And that one will head into the bleachers, point Fontbonne. Harple will send that across, received by Bennett. Lansaw having to redirect. And Meglin's going to be able to get it across. There's Kentfee. Set by Loss. Bit of chaos in the middle right there, but both teams staying alive. Some great defense from Zoe and Mitchell to keep this one alive, as Siebert's forced to just hit that one up and over. An errant set right there from Watson. This is a long rally between these two teams. Watson sets it back for Kentpafee, received by Pence, set up by Lansaw, and Mitchell's able to get the kill. That one eats up Kristen Kentpafee, and the Beavers are going to take possession back. Strong rally there from both teams, but the Beavers, the first of the two to be able to put together a strong play on offense. And they'll take possession back. Coming into the game for the first time today and dropping back to serve is Jessie Wright. She'll send that one across. It'll go long, received by Harrop in the back. Watson sets it up for Bishop. Pence tries to push that across. Rhodes, swats that right back down. Pence to the back corner. Harrop's going to keep it alive. Hit up by Watson. And Siebert's going to send that one into the net. And the Beavers continue a little mini run right here. They lead 8-6 early against the Griffins. Wright sends that across, received by Fitzgerald. Watson sets it up for Siebert, and a good kill from Siebert right there. Was able to feign the power, taps it across, and it caught both Ella Person and Zoe Mitchell off guard. Neither of them able to effectively get it back up in the air and make it playable. Watson herself drops back to serve, received by Wright, kept alive by Person, put across by Wright. Watson will set this one up, and it's just going to have to be pushed across by Kristen Kentpafee, and that point's going to go over to the Beavers. Double touch getting called on Kristen Kentpafee right there. So point Beavers, they lead 9-7 as Bailey Bennett drops back to serve for the second time today. She gets it across. That'll be set by Watson. Siebert into the block, but it's an ineffective block from Jessica Muckensturm. And that'll drop to the ground, and Fontbonne will take possession back immediately. Maddie Bach dropping back to serve for the Griffins. That'll be received by Wright, set up by Lansaw. Person unable to get the kill right there. Now here's Oji. Set up by Lansaw. Here's Pence, and Pence straight into the block and gets the kill. Great angled attack from Kara Pence right there. Rhodes and Kentpafee unable to get it down somewhere they can play it, And that's a point. Beavers, they'll take possession back, and they'll retain their lead, as dropping back to serve is Kennedy Fry. That'll be received by OG, but it's an errant reception. It's right back pass to the Beavers. Pence swats that one down, and it'll be blocked into the post by Genesis Rhodes. And that'll be another point for the Beavers. The Beavers able to continue their pace here. They now lead by 3 over the Griffins. But Fry is going to serve that into the net, and that'll send possession back to Fontbonne. Service error for Blackburn right there. Their first of the day. Hair up, gets it across this time. That'll be set up by Fry. Tapped across by Pence. And some great defense from Fontbonne right here to keep it alive. Pence looking to get the kill, and she'll get it that time. A diving Batty Bach unable to keep it up. But Fontbonne with some great diving plays right there kept that rally going longer than you would have expected. And Cara Pence, who just got the kill, dropping back to serve herself here. Pence leading both teams in kills so far today, as she's now up to 4. She'll get that one across, received by OG, set by Watson. Here's Kenpafee, blocked. Dropping back is Bach, she'll keep it alive. That'll be set by Fry. Bit of an awkward attempt from Muckensturm right there, and some good defense from the Griffins to keep it alive. Here's Muckensturm again, taps it towards the back row. Watson's going to set it up now. Here's Kenpafee, and Bennett's going to miss it right there. Kristen Kenpafee picking up her second kill of the day. Kenpafee coming into this game, leading attacker on this Griffins offense. 37 kills coming into today, only 2 so far. As she'll send that across. Here's Muckensturm. It's an errant set. And that's going to be a point Griffins. Errant set from Kennedy Fry on the Beavers end. And Fry is rostered as a setter, but something that we did see in that first opening match between the Cougars and the Beavers earlier today is that the Beavers setter situation is a bit messy. There's not really a defined setter they leave in there all game. You have Kennedy Fry, who gets a substantial amount of time at setter, but we've seen already in this match itself, Naomi Lansaw, the freshman, taking that setter role. Abigail Sobczak getting that role occasionally as well this season for the Beavers. This Beavers team with some ill-defined roles on their roster. That's something they're trying to figure out early on here. But the Griffins have now pulled even, and now Kenpafee to the back row. These teams just pushing it back and forth at a fast pace right now. Muckensturm going to try and slow it down here for the Beavers. Miscommunication on the Beavers end right there. Muckensturm pushes it across, and that's going to be knocked out of bounds by Bennett. Bailey Bennett, a bit slow to start here on defense, struggling so far in this game for Blackburn. And now Fontbonne with their first lead since the very early stage of this set. Errant reception from Bennett right there, but the Beavers able to keep it alive. OG pushes it across, but Blackburn's going to go into the net, and that's going to be a point Fontbonne. They now lead by 2, which is their largest lead of the game. 14-12 Fontbonne, as dropping back to serve is Kristen Kenpafee. And the lefty puts it across, and Peyton Meglin just messes up the reception right there. Tried to go with an overhand two-hand reception and just missed the ball, deflected it into the ground. And that'll be another point Fontbonne, 15-12 now for the Griffins. Kenpafee sends that across, received by Bennett, set up by Fry. And that'll be pushed over by Meglin. There's OG, deflected at the line by Jordan Watts. And it deflects it out of the reach of any other Beavers. That'll head out of bounds. Point Fontbonne. They now lead 16-12. And this is the biggest run we've seen for either team this game. Fontbonne trailed by 4. Now after a 7-0 run, they lead by 4. 16-12 Griffins. As that serve received by Bennett, set up by Fry. Person sends it across. There's OG into a block, but that block's going to go out of bounds. Point Griffins. That's now up to an 8-0 run. And that's going to force the first timeout from either team today. Head coach Shannon Bishop of the Beavers calling a timeout over on Blackburn's side. We'll take a short break here in Geisman Gymnasium, and we'll be back in just a moment for more action from this match. Welcome back here to Geisman Gymnasium for set one of game two of the River Forest Tri here between Blackburn College and Fontbonne University. Fontbonne on a run right here, 8-0 scoring run over the Beavers. And Kristen Kempfe is going to try to continue that with another serve right here. Received by Bennett, and it's going to be a messy play here for the Beavers. But Kara Pence able to get the long-range kill off of the errant block at the line by Jordan Harple. Harple blocked it straight into the top of the net. And that'll end the scoring run. That's exactly what the Beavers were looking for coming out of the timeout. Now dropping back to serve is Jessica Muckensturm. That's going to be another point. Beavers kill goes straight into the net from Jordan Harple. And a rough couple of plays from Jordan Harple right here has put some momentum back on Blackburn's side of the court. Muckensturm going up to serve once again. That'll be received by OG, set by Watson. And now Jordan Harple thought that she got over her rut, but that's going to be called a lift on Riley Watson, the setter for the Griffins. And that's going to be another point in Beavers. And the mistakes, 3 in a row here for the Griffins, have allowed the Beavers to draw within 2, and that's just a great serve right there from Kara Pence. An ace right there for the senior. Maddie Bach laid out for it but wasn't able to get under it. And now the Beavers, after surrendering an 8-0 run, have drawn back within 1 point here. Muckensturm gets it across. That's going to be received by OG, set by Watson. Long range for Kempfe. Good reception from Kennedy Fry. That'll be blocked at the line. Good save from Kennedy Fry. And the Beavers defense is locked in right now. Harple's just going to force it across. Fry, long set, over to Meglin. Now here's OG from the near side, and that's going to be called inbounds. Point Griffins. Very close play over on the far side. That ball just catching the outside of the sideline, according to the line judge over there. There will now be Mora OG serving for the Griffins. Fry, good set right there, forcing the Griffins onto the back foot. And an errant hit right there from Peyton Siebert. Got the angle wrong, mishit it, and sends it out of bounds to send possession back over to the Beavers. Beavers' strong performance so far here in set number one as Naomi Landsaw, the freshman, comes back into the game. Here's Peyton Siebert, and Siebert's just going to send that one out the back line. And these two teams are even once again, 18-18 here in set number one. Neither team able to get away from the other so far as Naomi Landsaw will send that one across once again. Errant reception. Riley Watson, good run just to save it. Now Landsaw will set it up for Zoe Mitchell, and that's another kill for Mitchell right there. And the Beavers have pulled that lead back. They lead 19-18 here, 6 points away from a set 1 victory for Blackburn, but Fontbonne nipping at their heels still. Lansaw sends it across, set by Watson. Harple spikes it down, and an errant hit right there from Ella Person. Just it didn't get enough contact with the ball, and it's barely going to make it to the net, as that'll send a point over to Fontbonne. Griffins now tie it up 19-19. That'll be received by Bennett, and it's going to be a play off the back foot here. Miscommunication on the Beavers' end, and that's something we saw in that first match against the Cougars. This team can get a bit messy at points with some miscommunication, and it crops up right there as they hand the lead back over to the Griffins. Jordan Harple will serve once again. That'll be received by Bennett, set up by Lansaw. There's Meglin, and Meglin drops it inbounds, and the call will say the Griffins are not happy about it. And if I'm being honest, up from the angle up here, it looked like that very well could have been out. But the Beavers aren't complaining as they now draw back even 20-20. As that'll be served across by Jesse Wright, set by Watson. From long range, there's Kenpathy, blocked at the line by Zoe Mitchell. Good play for Mitchell. Now Kara Pence across to Piper Fitzgerald. Now Watson will set once again. Here's Siebert. That'll be received by Wright at the back line, set by Lansaw. Here's Pence into a block. Bennett will just push it right across, set by Watson. But Watson sets it right back over. But Kara Pence wastes an opportunity right there. Just sends that one out of bounds on what should have been an easy kill for the senior. And with these two teams playing so close here in the late stages of set 1, that one may come back to haunt the Beavers, as an errant set from Lansaw right there is going to give another point to the Griffins. They now lead 22-20, and as the Griffins are now just 3 points away from winning this set, head coach Shannon Bishop will call her second time out of the set for the Beavers. We'll take a short break up here at the Cougar Sports Network, and we'll be back in just a moment for a nail-biter of a close to set number 1. Welcome back to Geisman Gymnasium here for set number 1, and the Beavers, with another mistake, they're going to get called for a rotation error coming out of the timeout, and that is the worst possible way to come out of a timeout, as they've now gifted Fontbonne a free point, and now the Griffins 2 points away from a set 1 win. This will be set by Lansaw. Zoe Mitchell straight to the back line, received by Fitzgerald. Siebert sends it across, set by Lansaw. Here's Pence. Pence trying to place it on the far side. Good save from Siebert. And that's going to be down and in. Jesse Wright unable to get there. And that's going to send the point. Now set point for the Griffins, and a couple straight mistakes for the Beavers have put them in a big hole here late. Lansaw will set that. Zoe Mitchell to the back line. That's received by the face of Piper Fitzgerald. She did not get an arm on that. And Fontbonne making it work. Beavers now, Lansaw sets it. Tapped over right there by person. Fontbonne able to keep it alive, set by Lonsaw. Here's Pence from the far side, straight into the block. Genesis Rhodes sends it back down. Point Griffins, and that's going to be the set win in what was a nail-biter of a set for most of it. The Griffins take it 25-20 as the Beavers' mistakes finally unravel their chances in the last 5 points of the set. So that'll do it for set number 1 as Fontbonne takes the first set win. They lead 1-0. We'll be back in a couple minutes here for set number 2 of action here between Fontbonne and Blackburn. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Cougar Sports Network.
Through the ages, God has called and equipped people to make a real difference in the lives of others. To lead, to heal, to stand tall. For 160 years, Concordia University Chicago has been preparing the next generation of leaders with the wisdom, faith, and values to make an impact in the world, to share the gifts God gave them and answer the call to a life fulfilled by purpose and truth, to be living examples of what it means to live with Christ at the center as we serve others. Because at CUC, we don't run away from adversity, we go towards it. We don't shrink from our faith, we lead with it. We are teachers, caregivers, and musicians, scientists, pastors, and business leaders, unshakable pillars of strength and integrity who serve a cause greater than ourselves. And the world needs us now more than ever. Learn how a degree from Concordia University Chicago can help you be the pillar the world needs to stand for something greater. The only question is, are you ready to stand tall?
Welcome back here to River Forest for Game 2 of today's River Forest Try, including Fontbonne University, Blackburn College, and Concordia University Chicago. Currently in game number 2, it's the Blackburn College Beavers taking on the Fontbonne University Griffins. The Beavers trail as Fontbonne leads 1-0 so far. Beavers yet to win a set today, losing all 4 sets they've played so far, but they got close against the Griffins right there, and they'll look to get closer here in set number 2. And these two teams both coming from the SLIAC, the St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, and both of these teams faced off twice last year, and they split the series. Fontbonne won match number 1 at home 3-1, but the Beavers actually swept the Griffins in 3 sets the second time these two teams played last season, and the Griffins actually went on to finish as the runner-up in the conference tournament for the SLIAC, and the Beavers looking to put in a strong comeback performance here, as that one's going to be saved by Kennedy Fry. Beavers managing to stay alive here. Here's Mora OG, and that one's going to go out the back line. Point Beavers. OG put just a bit too much on it right there. And that'll give an early 1-0 lead for the Beavers as they strike first here in set number 2. Pence will serve it across, and it's an errant reception right there for Emma Harrup. Harrup sending it out of bounds off the receive, and that'll send another point to the Beavers. Cara Pence dropping back to serve again. Pence puts it up and across, received by Bach, and that's going to be a point Griffins. Bailey Bennett unable to get there on the reception right there. Emma Harrop will drop back to receive here for the Griffins. Harrop sends it across, received by Bennett. Not a great reception, but Pence able to make a play out of it. And Peyton Meglin's just going to send it into the net. And that's something we've seen has been really the biggest struggle for the Beavers today is serve receive. They haven't been able to get good attacks off the reception because their initial receptions have been so weak. Bailey Bennett right there, set up by Jesse Wright. Wright will set it up again. Now Pence from range. That's going to get out the back line. Pence with just a bit too much on it right there. That's going to be a point Griffins, and they've drawn back even 2-2 here. That'll be received by Meglin, and it's just going to go straight across on the errant reception. There's Kenpathy, kept up by Wright. Good defensive save. Meglin sending it all the way to the other side. Here's Kenpathy again, and that's going to get down for Kenpathy's first kill of the set. Bailey Bennett unable to save it. And that'll send another point over to Fontbonne. The Griffins on a 3-0 run here early. And Merritt sends across, received by Meglin, put up by Wright. Here's Watts, and Watts just going to send it straight into the net. That's going to be another point Griffins. 4-0 run, and after the Beavers came out strong in this set, the Griffins have really taken control here. And received by Bennett, set by Wright. And Meglin finds space on the back line. Miscommunication between Maddie Bach and Emma Harrop right there. Leaves some open space. Point Beavers, kill for Meglin. And dropping back to serve for the Beavers is Jessica Muckensturm. Muckensturm sends it across, received by Bach, set by Watson. Harpel sends it across now. Here's Meglin. That's going to be blocked into the net by Kristen Kenpathy, and that'll get down point Beavers. Good kill right there from Peyton Meglin. And dropping back to serve again is Jessica Muckensturm. Muckensturm sends it across, received by Bach, set by Watson. Here's Kenpathy, and that's going to get sent out the back line, but it was tipped at the line by Zoe Mitchell. And that'll be a point Griffins on the tip call right there. Kristen Kenpathy herself dropping back to serve now after the kill. She'll send it across, received by Pence, set by Wright. Zoe Mitchell sends it across, but that's going to get called for a error on the Griffins. Point Beavers. They'll take possession back here from Fontbonne. They stay within one. As subbing back into the game is Naomi Landsaw. And with Jesse Wright heading out of the game, Wright served the role of setter early on in the set. You would assume Landsaw is going to be the setter once we get a play going here as Landsaw served that straight into the net. That's a service error for the freshman, and that'll send possession back over to the Griffins, as dropping back to serve is Mara Oji. Oji serves it up. That'll be received by Meglin, set by Landsaw. Meglin able to get it to the back, and that'll go out of bounds off of Kenpathy. Point Beavers as Meglin gets subbed out for Jesse Wright. We'll be dropping back to serve here. Wright sends it across, received by Fitzgerald, put up by long range from Watson, and a great find right there for Peyton Siebert. Just floated it across into the open area up close. The Beavers not paying attention enough, leaving that space open. That's a kill for Siebert. And dropping back to serve is Jordan Harpel for the Griffins. And Harpel's going to send that one out of bounds. Point Beavers, these two teams trading points back and forth here. And now Bailey Bennett's turn to drop back and serve. These two teams both looking to be the first to get to double digits here in set number 2. As Bennett's going to serve that one off the top of the net. and Piper Fitzgerald almost able to get the pancake right there, but just not enough under it. And that's going to be a service ace for Bailey Bennett. As the Beavers draw even with the Griffins, Bennett will serve it across once again. And some miscommunication. Griffins able to keep it alive, but Harrop's going to be forced to just send it across at long range. Great opportunity here for the Beavers, but an errant set washes it away. Now be received by Lansaw. Now Cara Pence from a bit of range now gets sent out of bounds. Point Griffins. Both teams with some miscues through that one, and it's going to be the Griffins who keep it alive the longest. Pence up at the line, pushing it across. And that'll be a point Griffins. And now Fontbonne with a 2-point lead here over the Beavers. Stepping back to serve is Riley Watson. Now from the edge, Ella Pearson able to get in bounds, but that's going to be a point Griffins. Kill right there for Kristen Kempfe, and a 3-point lead here for the Griffins draws even with the largest lead for either team this set. And miscommunication there again. Jesse Wright and Cara Pence miscommunicating on the near corner and just letting that serve drop down. That's a service ace for Riley Watson. Watson going on a run right here. That one effectively received by Pence, set by Lansaw. And the Beavers able to keep it alive, but no one on the back corner. All the Beavers were up at the top half. Nobody on the back half of the court except for Jesse Wright. And the Beavers and head coach Shannon Bishop will call their first timeout of the set. And it's a timeout that will be needed as the Beavers have been miscommunicating. They're a bit messy right now. We'll see how they are coming out of the timeout in just a moment here on the Cougar Sports Network. And welcome back to Geisman Gymnasium here for Game 2 of the River Forest Tri. Coming out of the timeout, Beavers looking to get back in it here. They trail by 5, 13-8. First going to set that up. Pence forced to just send it across, and it actually works out pretty well as the Griffins are now on the back foot, but miscommunication again. Ella Pearson saves it. Naomi Lansaw tried to get over there to save it herself, and that left the gap behind Pearson wide open. Ineffective defense from the Beavers right there. Lansaw's going to put it up. Muckensturm just shoves it across. And now Kempfe from range. Jesse Wright unable to effectively receive that. Another point, Fontbonne. They now lead by 7. They're on a 7-0 scoring run here. Watson sends it across. Errant reception from Jesse Wright, but a great kill right there from Ella Pearson against her momentum, able to send it to the near side of the court. That's going to be a kill for Pearson, point Beavers, and they'll finally take possession back as Kennedy Fry drops back to serve here. Fry sends it across. That'll be set up by Watson. Now here's Cara Pence to the far side, and Harrop's reception just a bit too errant. Kristen Kempfe unable to get there in time. Point Beavers, and dropping back to serve once again will be Kennedy Fry. Fry sends it across, received by Siebert, put up by Watson. Now Siebert from range, good save from right, but Bennett, errant pass, just sends it across and sets the Griffins up nicely for a kill. And again, it's those errant hits, errant receptions from the Beavers. They're messy. They're really struggling to put together controlled plays so far in this set, and it's what's allowed the Griffins to build this lead so far. As that's going to be a service ace from Maddie Bach. Cara Pence just misreading that one and letting it drop down inside the lines. It's another point. Fontbonne, they lead 17-10 now as Bach sends it across, received by Pence, set by Fry. Now Pence gets it through the block between the arms of Mora Oji and Genesis Rhodes, and that'll get down for a point. The Beavers not out of range in this set here. Both of these teams have gone on long enough runs that 6 points is a doable deficit, but it's a deficit the Beavers would rather not be in right now. Riley Watson and Kristen Kempefy barely able to get that one across. Straight into the block from Mora Oji, and the Griffins unable to recover. Some great defense at the line right there from Jessica Muckensturm and Jordan Watts, the two middle hitters on the roster for this Beavers squad. And Cara Pence will drop back to serve again. And then Pence is going to send that one out of bounds. Point Griffins. They'll take possession back. Another service error on the part of the Beavers kills the bit of momentum there. And now it'll be Emma Harrop dropping back to serve here for the Griffins. Set up by Fry. Straight into the block and the net from Meglin. Point Griffins. And now another 7-point lead for Fontbonne. They lead 19-12 over Blackburn. Harrop across, received by Pence. And Kennedy Fry unable to get there to keep it up. Another point Griffins. And Shannon Bishop going to call her second timeout of the set as the Beavers really haven't been able to recover coming out of that timeout. And during this timeout, we'll give you a quick update on some of the stats for these teams. Leading on kills on the day for both teams is the season kills leader coming into the day for Fontbonne, Kristen Kempefy. She's at 10 kills today so far to just one error, hitting at a percentage of .409, which is a great line for that hitting percentage. And on the Blackburn side, it's Cara Pence leading in kills with 7. But again, just to contrast her with Kempefy, Pence has 6 errors. She's hitting at a percentage of .042, drastically below where Kempefy's hitting right now. And it's those errors that are really making the difference between these two teams right now. Fontbonne, just 8 errors on the day, only 2 in this current set. Blackburn on the day, 12 errors, 6 in this set. They're hitting on the day at a percentage of .045, just above what Pence herself is hitting at. But on Fontbonne's end, the team as a whole hitting at a percentage of .412, which if a team's going to hit it that on the day, they will not complain. A .412 percentage, a great percentage for a team to be hitting at. And that's another errant reception right there from Bailey Bennett that's going to send a point over to the Griffins. The Griffins now leading by 9, just 4 points away from taking set 2 here in Geisman Gymnasium. Serve across, received by Meglin. And finally, error going to go across to the Beavers. Foul called on the Griffins. And dropping back to serve here will be Jessica Muckensturm. Muckensturm puts it up and across. That would be received by Oji. And a great play right there, just dumped across by Jordan Harple. The Beavers caught off guard, and the Griffins will take possession back. And today's kill leaders, Kristen Kempefy, will drop back to serve herself here for Fontbonne. Kempefy gets it across, received by Pence. Close to the line, Fry keeps it in, but Zoe Mitchell unable to get a good return on it. Teams rally a bit. Point goes to Fontbonne again, and now that is set point for this Fontbonne squad. Sorry, 2 points away from a set victory here for this Fontbonne squad. Kempathy sends it across, received by Pence, set by Fry. Watts sends it into the net. Another attacking error for the Beavers. And now the Griffins are at set point, 11-point lead here for Fontbonne. Kristen Kempathy looking to finish off the set with this play right here. Kempathy sends it across, received by Meglin, and now Bennett's going to have to just send it across from the back line. Harrop receives, set by Watson. Harple unable to get the kill right there. Bit of an awkward hit from Meglin right there, but she keeps it alive. There's Mara OG to the back corner. Cara Pence unable to get there, and that'll do it for set number 2. That a much bigger win for Fontbonne, 25-13 in set number 2. And with a 2-0 lead, they're now just one set away from winning this match here in the River Forest Tri. I'm on the Cougar Sports Network, and we'll be back in just a moment for more volleyball action here in Geisman Gymnasium.
CUC nursing student and choose to stand tall for healing at a university that places Christ at the center and embraces teaching students to live a life fulfilled by purpose and meaning. Concordia University Chicago's new Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree is an innovative and rigorous 4-year program that will prepare you to rise to the daily challenges of a rewarding nursing career and serve a greater cause. Our newly built modern simulation center features 4 distinct spaces, a skills attainment lab, multi-specialty intensive care spaces, a health assessment learning center, and a simulated home environment. Due to our close proximity to many world-class teaching hospitals, CUC's clinical rotations offer an abundance of diverse and real-world experiences. Learn more about earning your BSN at a Christ-centered university today.
They're all good. And welcome back to Geisman Gymnasium here in River Forest for match number 2 of today's River Forest Tri. Fontbonne University Griffins have a 2-0 lead over the Blackburn College Beavers here. And it's a strong start to their day for Fontbonne. Beavers, on the other hand, still struggling. And in their 2 matches so far today, they've now dropped 5 consecutive sets. They have yet to win a set today. They'll look to break that streak here in set number 3 against the Griffins. And they'll be serving to start off this set. Is dropping back to serve is their setter, Kennedy Fry. Fry's going to send that one across, received by OG, set by Watson, and Kristen Kempathy sends that one just out of bounds, but that's going to be a point over to the Griffins. Foul called on the Beavers there. Emma Harrop now serving for Fontbonne. Jessica Muckensturm unable to get up and get that one over the net. Errant set from Fry right there sends another point over to Fontbonne's side, and they have a quick 2-0 lead here in set number 3. Harrop sends that across, set up by Fry. Cara Pence, strong shot to the back row, received by Bach. Bennett's able to save that one for the Beavers. Sent across by Watts. And now Kempfee able to get that down. Watts again from the far side, tapped across the net, and Cara Pence unable to effectively get that back up. And that's going to be another point for Fontbonne. They jump out to a quick 3-0 lead here. Emma Harrop sends that across, received by Pence, set by Fry. Muckensturm to the back corner. Strong kill right there for the senior. And that's the first point of the set for Blackburn. Dropping back to serve here is Jessie Wright for the Beavers as she comes into the game. Wright serves that one across, received by Bach. Now Kempefee across, received by Wright. Here's Watts to the back corner, and Maddie Bach went for it, got a hand on it, walked it over to the side. That one might have been going out, but some miscommunication on the Griffin side leads to an error and hands a point over to the Beavers. Errant reception. Watson's just able to get it across. Jordan Harple able to keep that one alive. And Peyton Meglin into the block, but it's an ineffective block from Harple and Kempefee, and that'll go down on the Griffin side, and the Beavers have drawn it back even 3-3 here in set 3. Wright puts it across, set by Watson. Harple feigns the attack. And Harple really needed to go for the attack. No one else there to pick it up. Mora Oji gets the 4th touch. That's an error on the part of the Griffins. That's going to send another point across to the Beavers. Set by Watson. Here's Kempefee. Out of bounds on the back line. Attacking error for Kempefee. The big difference between these two teams coming into this set was errors. Blackburn had more errors on the day. They were hitting at a far worse percentage than Fontbonne was, but now in the early stages of this set, that flip's kind of been script. Fontbonne struggling for consistency early on here, and Meglin thought she had an opportunity there, but just spiked it straight into the post. And that'll be a point, Griffins. Kristen Kempefee dropping back to serve here for Fontbonne. Kempefee sends that all the way across. So far across, it's out of bounds. Point Beavers. Another error in an uncharacteristic set so far for Kristen Kempefee. Kempefee leads these teams on the day with 11 kills. She leads Fontbonne on the season with 48 kills now. And right there, Mora Oji picking up the kill. Griffins back to trailing by 1, dropping back to serve is Mora Oji herself. Oji, that number 2 option on this Griffins defense, second on the team in kills so far today. And she'll get a service ace right there off an errant reception from Bailey Bennett, and these two teams have drawn even once again 6-6. OG serves it across, received by Bennett, set by Fry. Here's Meglin straight into the block. Meglin puts it back up to keep it alive. Watts from the near side. That'll be set by Watson. Sieber into the net. These teams going back and forth here. Watson, quick switch to Harple. And Jordan Watts is going to be unable to get there. Point Griffins off of a fast-paced back-and-forth rally right there. And Fontbonne will take that lead back. They need a lead 7-6 as Mara Oji drops back to serve once again. Sent across, received by Meglin, set by Fry. Here's Watts trying to reach the back corner. Just a bit too much sauce on it, and that'll head out of bounds. Point Griffins. They now lead by 2 again. OG serves that one across into the net. And a service error from Mora Oji will send possession back over to the Beavers. And the Beavers now trail by 1. Dropping back to serve will be Naomi Lansaw. Lansaw will serve this across. Received by Siebert, set by Watson. Kent Buffy from mid-range into the block, and that's blocked out of bounds as it got squeezed between the hands of Zoe Mitchell and Peyton Meglin. And dropping back to serve for the Griffins is Jordan Harple with a 2-point lead. Harple sends it across, received by Bennett, set by Lansaw. Zoe Mitchell just touching it across. Now from range is Peyton Siebert. Peyton, and that's going to be a kill. Genesis Rhodes spiking it down for the Griffins. Fontbonne taking a 10-7 lead now. And something I haven't talked about today, which is these two teams' name, both of them remarkably unique names for college mascots. Fontbonne on their end, the Griffins, they're the only college I've run across that's named the Griffins. And then the Beavers, there's a couple of them, but you don't find many colleges who make their mascot the Beavers. So unique college mascot matchup here today. And it's the Griffins who are going to come out on top of that rally. Jesse Wright unable to get there in time. That'll send a point over to Fontbonne's end of the court with a 4-point lead. Jordan Harple will continue to serve. Jordan Harple sends that across. And another errant reception from Bailey Bennett. Seemed like she tripped up a bit as she went down for it. And the Beavers now trailing by 5 here. Jordan Harple going on a 4-0 run here from the service line. Harple sends that one across. Another errant reception from Bailey Bennett. Bailey Bennett is struggling right now, and Shannon Bishop going to call her first time out of the set for the Beavers. It's an important one as this team is very much backsliding right now. We'll take a short break here at the Cougar Sports Network, and we'll be back in just a moment to watch the remainder of this set. And welcome back to Geisman Gymnasium. Coming out of the timeout by the Beavers, it's the Griffins who lead 13-7. And they still have possession, and they'll retain possession. Kill attempt right there from Ella Person heads out of bounds. And that'll be a point over to the Griffins. They now lead by 7 over the Beavers. Served across by Harper, received by Pence, set up by Naomi Lansaw. And it's an errant set from Lansaw. Peyton Meglin unable to get there. That's another point for the Griffins. The Griffins on a run right here, and if they're able to finish off this set, take a 3-0 win in their first game of the day, that would be their third win of the season, continue a 3-game win streak in what's been a strong season so far, as Jordan Harple serves that straight into the net. And it is a special season for the Fontbonne Griffins, as it's a farewell season for this squad. Back in March, Fontbonne announcing that the university will be closing out the remainder of at the end of the 2024-2025 year. And that's the end of all athletics at Fontbonne as well. This team playing for the final season of the Fontbonne volleyball team, and they're looking to put together a strong campaign here in that last season. Kristen Kempefee straight into the block, but the block goes out of bounds. Point Griffins. Kempefee really can't believe her luck on that one. Sent that one straight into a block, and normally that's a bad thing, but poor blocking from the Beavers' part. Riley Watson sends that one across. Errant reception from Pence. And Genesis Rhodes all over it. But error on the part of Fontbonne. Both these teams picking up their fair share of errors so far today. And the Beavers will take possession back. Bennett serves. Now here's Siebert, and Siebert gonna pick up the kill right there. Serves that one into a block that goes out of bounds again. And the Griffins will take possession back. They'll have their 8-point lead again. And dropping back to serve for Fontbonne is Maddie Bach. Bach serves across, received by Cara Pence. Lansaw serves it up. And that's gonna be a kill there. Cara Pence across, errant reception from Genesis Rhodes, deflected it all the way out of bounds. And now the Beavers, trailing by 7, take possession back. Kennedy Fry coming back in to serve here for the Beavers. But she's going to serve it straight into the net. A service error for the Beavers, and the Griffins take that 8-point lead back. They're now 7 away from winning set 3 here. And we'll have the remainder of this game covered on the Cougar Sports Network. See how this one turns out. Diving from Emma Harrop right there. Not enough to keep it alive. And that'll send possession back to the Beavers. These two tube change points right now might not be enough for the Beavers, though. They'll have to claw back 7 points here. That's a pretty big tree to chop down for the Beavers. Watson puts it up. Kristen Kempefee sends that one across. Received by Fry. Now Mora Oji across, received by Bennett, set by Fry. And that one well out of bounds by Jordan Watts. Jordan Watts struggling a bit with her accuracy so far today. Elsewhere on the Cougar Sports Network, women's soccer for Concordia University Chicago was another Cougar Sports Network production that'll be happening right now. Cougar women's soccer getting started against Co College right now. And coverage from CUCougars.com will include women's tennis for the Cougars, taking on the Milwaukee School of Engineering. Later today on the Cougar Sports Network, you'll see the final game of the River Forest Tri between the Fontbonne Griffins and the Concordia University Chicago Cougars, as the Griffins pick up another point right there. The Beavers unable to keep it in, and that'll send another point over to the Griffins. They now are just 4 points away from winning this match. Kempefee sends it across, received by Pence, set up by Fry. Reset, Pence from the back row. Errant reception from Emma Harrop. Fontbonne's going to be on the back foot here. Kempefee just sends it across, received by Muckensturm. Now here's Meglin into a block. Some great defense from Fontbonne right there, and they are not going down quietly. That'll be set by Fry. Watts just pushes across. Now Fontbonne pressing the attack, and Kennedy Fry unable to effectively receive that, and that'll send the point over to Fontbonne. Strong rally from both teams results in a Fontbonne point, and the Griffins now will have Kristen Kempfee drop back to serve once again. He sends it across, and that serve's going to chip off the net. That'll be another point for Fontbonne. Bit of luck on that serve right there for Kristen Kempefee. Kempefee will send it across. Fontbonne just 2 points away from winning this match. And Peyton Meglin will send that one out the back line, and it is now match point for Kristen Kempefee and the Griffins. Kempefee served on match point earlier today. She'll be serving on match point again here. Kempefee will send that one across, received by Bennett, set by Fry. Muckensturm slaps it down. Now Fontbonne will reset. Here's OG. OG tries to just tap it over the net, but Jordan Watts saw that one coming a mile away and taps it straight back down for a Beavers point. Beavers trailing by 12, a lot of ground to make up here, but they're going to try and put up a fight to close this one off. That serve chipping off the net, and Jordan Harpel decides to end it right there. Strong kill from Jordan Harpel to bring this match to an end. Fontbonne takes it 25-12 here in set number 3, and they'll win it on a 3-set sweep, 3-0 over the Beavers. That does it for the Beavers' day here in River Forest at the River Forest Tri. They dropped both of their matches against the Concordia Chicago Cougars and the Fontbonne Griffins, all of them being 3-0 sweeps, going 0-6 for the day as a whole. Fontbonne with a strong start to their day here at Concordia Chicago. They win their first match 3-0. And some of your important and notable stats coming out of this game. For Fontbonne and for the game as a whole, it was Kristen Kempefee who led both teams with kills, with 13 kills on the day and a strong hitting percentage of .355. Cara Pence led in kills for the Beavers, 9 kills on the day, but again, big difference between these two teams. Cara Pence, 6 errors in the match today. Strong day and especially strong third set from Jordan Harpel, finishing second out of all the teams with 9 kills on the day to just 3 errors and hitting at a percentage of .375. Moving forward from here, Blackburn College will actually be coming back to River Forest on September 10th to take down the Dominican University Stars right down Division Street from Concordia University, Chicago. Fontbonne, on the other hand, they'll be back in action in just under an hour here in River Forest. They'll be taking on the Concordia University Chicago Cougars up next here in the River Forest Tri. Both of those teams winning their first matches of the day against the Blackburn College Beavers 3-0, and both of them will be looking to finish off the Tri with some strong performances by taking that next match between these two schools. That'll do it, though, here from this second game of the River Forest Tri. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network. Thank you to Abby Kulig and Courtney Schneider, who are also helping out with this broadcast. And we'll actually be back on the Cougar Sports Network in just a moment, in just under an hour, for more Cougar Volleyball. If you want to catch some more Cougar sports right now, make sure to check out the Cougar Women's Soccer, taking out Coe College in their senior day match. Also on the Cougar Sports Network. This is the Cougar Sports Network. Make sure to join us later today for more Cougar Volleyball action.
Much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.